So we had a cancellation. The ADA conversation is going to come soon. What's up, Wes? You want to join? I ain't got nothing going on. I think I could tag you in. Hi, Brittany. Yeah, we're supposed to have a discussion with John Carter. And let's see if I could just add Wes here. I'm trying this out on my phone. It didn't work on my computer last time. What's up, Kurt? Hopefully I see you soon, brother. We're supposed to have a conversation about the ADA, but John Carter is out there actually chasing tornadoes out there in Minnesota, or he may be somewhere else. But I figured I'd just go live anyways to try and get some kind of content going because we need it. Now, if anyone wants to be tagged in, I think it's easier to do it on my phone. This is kind of like a trial process. I try to add Wes, if you can just come on camera for maybe you're hanging out with wife and kids. All right. I just wanted to just see your beautiful face again. No, that's all right. I just wanted to see how it works. Anybody that wants to be tagged in, feel free. It seems to work better from the phone than it does from my computer, which we found out last week. So now that we're the Disabilities Act. What's up, Jay? I remember you. You want to come on and shoot the shit? Let me know. So now that we are postponing this American Disabilities Act conversation, I think there's some stuff that I would like to talk about. What's up, Brett? With the Colin Kaepernick and the whole kneeling situation, which a lot of people think that I'm like some alt-right bandwagoner, or I am like extremely on the right, but no, I take things as I get them, and when new information is presented, then I change my views accordingly. I don't hold any allegiance to any one tribe, I guess you would say. So let's just rewind to the beginning. When the Colin Kaepernick thing came out, I didn't like it. It just rubbed me the wrong way. It seemed unpatriotic. It seemed un-American, and it seemed like he was hijacking the sports presence and the sports viewership to highlight his own ideas and then the timing of it was kind of as my buddy Sean states, as that he didn't have the best year and now he was doing it. But then again, there were some people that would just sit for the national anthem and they never got noticed. But it wasn't until somebody kneeled, and it was actually somebody who told, it was a former service member, that sitting for the national anthem is more disrespectful than actually kneeling for the national anthem, which I thought was interesting when I found that part out. But now if we want to dig into the court case that's going on right now, and Mark Garagos is representing Colin Kaepernick. And he brought up, and Mark Garagos has been in a lot of high-profile cases going back to Michael Jackson. And just look him up. He's an Armenian assassin out of LA. He does a lot of he's not somebody that you want on the other side of the courtroom if you are in some kind of whatever. So I felt like Colin Kaepernick doing this, I thought it was disrespectful, especially to the people that have served in the military and military families and stuff like that. But once I heard the arguments in court, my mind started to switch a little bit. I mean, for starters, they didn't always play the national anthem at sporting events, and second, they always didn't have the players on the field either. So once you find out that the military is actually paying the NFL to sing the national anthem at sporting events, it gets a little bit dicey, right? So what's being argued in court right now is that Mark Geragos is arguing that standing for the Pledge of Allegiance is a form of political speech. So is putting your right hand over your heart. So is taking off your cap and putting it on your heart. It's a form of political speech. You're being a patriot or semi-patriotic, showing a little bit of love for your country. Okay, political speech. So is kneeling. Kneeling is also a form of political speech. And by playing the national anthem at sporting events, you open up a form of political theater. And he's right. And as much as I didn't like it, as much as it kind of pissed me off, I thought that, initially that it wasn't right. But once you argue it in the form of political speech, which it kind of is, you could be a patriot, or you could be, very critical of America, which is what we have the First Amendment for, which is free speech, which is, almost mostly the reason why this country was founded upon was those kind of basic principles. So once it's argued in that form that kneeling is a form of political speech, but also so is standing and so is putting your right hand over your heart for the national anthem, it kind of swayed me because this new information, it's kind of dead on and it's kind of irrefutable in a sense. So that's what's being argued. As much as I don't like it, I can't let my personal opinion get in the way of the facts, as they may be. So that's what Mark Geragos is arguing. And so the court case is basically highlighting how he's been blackballed by the owners. And here's the other thing, is that the NFL is not a private company. They get public funding from each of their cities, each of their venues where they are located. So now that you are not a private company, you don't have the same privileges that a private company has, which would be to, and that's another thing that I thought, oh, the NFL is a private company, they should be able to do whatever they want. It's not true. They got public funding. So once you get public funding, all the rules change and everything. If I was the NFL, I would probably want to go down the route of being a public company at this point. But they don't have the liberty. They don't have that liberty right now. They're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I kind of sympathize with the owners because, they didn't do anything to create or cause any of this. It was just like this one action from this one player that set off this firestorm. And now it's this firestorm is turned into a brush storm, and now the NBA is kind of doing the same thing that the NFL was, except for these news reporters are bringing up politics at the post game conference, and it's like, where does it end? I'm all for talking politics, and I love sports too. I, for one, personally would like them separated. There's a time to talk politics, and there's a time to enjoy some sports. And I don't care what anyone says. I feel that the ratings of the NFL last year that dropped were significantly from the whole kneeling situation. And now we have and here we go again. More politics in sports. The Philadelphia Eagles, well, most of the black players said that they weren't going to go to the White House after you win a Super Bowl or an NBA championship or MLB. You get invited to the White House, which should be like a serious honor. Who wouldn't want to go to the White House? Just even if I didn't like the president, I'd still want to go to the White House. That seems to be an honor. And we have actors um, at these award shows, trying to inject politics into award shows. Now we have people injecting politics into sports, which is kind of just like, I'm a big fan of both, but can we just keep them? Do we have to have politics into everything? Is it possible to just separate it sometimes? I mean, we got people asking Stephen Curry and LeBron James about it's the NBA Finals. Ask them about the fucking game. Not, oh, did you just hear that the Philadelphia Eagles were just uninvited to the White House? Well, fuck, Darren Parlick comments, Marxism dictates that every aspect of our cultural be dismantled. Yeah, well, that's kind of what's happening right now. We can't have anything nice anymore. We can't even sing the national anthem. With it just the national anthem is really serious for some people, especially somebody who's lost family member due to war, someone who has PTSD, and we may not get it. I don't get as why the national anthem would make somebody cry, but it's not my point to judge why somebody might cry over the national anthem or why somebody is passionate about it. I always stand up. I'll remove my cap. I remember the last Angel game that I went to. We had a party suite, and we were outside the stadium. And we were getting a little lit. It was like free booze or something, or discounted booze. It was like this gated off section outside of the stadium, and the game didn't start, but they sung the national anthem, and I was like, everyone that was walking into the stadium stopped, and baseball people take their hat off. If you played baseball, for the most part, you are you take your hat off and you put it over your heart. But everyone stopped, and it was like, the national anthem is very quiet when everyone, and then I yell out right towards the end, I don't see anyone kneeling now, do we? But I was kind of buzzed, and Sean was like, just fucking just stop, because we were with his wife's co-workers and stuff like that. But I was just like, I don't know how that relates to anything, but at the baseball game, no one was kneeling. But again, you have your right to do whatever you want as a form of political speech, and kneeling is political speech, and so is putting your right hand over your heart. So that's where my thought has kind of changed on that. And now we have the a bunch of the Philadelphia Eagles kneeled, and so ultimately they say, we're not going to the White House. Why would you not go to the White House? Seriously. I mean, an opportunity to go to, the place where decisions are made that has made this country what it is today. I know that's not where the Constitution was written or anything like that, but I mean, why not go see the most prestigious house in this country? Even if you don't agree with the politics, I think that's take me to the White House, Mr. President Trump. Businesses have the right to fire employees too. Yeah, unless those employees are getting you Super Bowl rings, then you're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. And even the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, is on board with this line of thinking too. So is the San Francisco Giants, but they've been a dumpster fire since Colin Kaepernick left. So there's that. And then the mayor of Philadelphia gets on, I forget where I heard it, but he's calling the president child. And it's like, dude, stick to your own fucking city, I'm sure Philadelphia has problems that you need to be addressing right now, and not totally trashing the president whenever you get a chance to have a microphone in their face. That seems to be what most people do that aren't involved in politics, that are actors, that are sports figures, that are whatever. And, CNN, MSNBC has a constant character assassination campaign that is going against the president right now. It's the likes of something that I've never seen, and even older people than me. And all of this politicizing everything for the objective thinker, you're swaying people that might be in the center to out of the realm of ridiculousness and obsession into rational thoughts and what the hell might really be going on here. So the Colin Kaepernick case is being argued in court by Mark Garagos. That it's a form of political speech to stand is also a form of political speech to kneel, and I kind of agree with that. So when I get new information, whether it tends to side, because I'm a registered libertarian, I don't want to side with either one of these two teams. They both make me sick to my stomach a lot of times, especially the Republicans going around trying to get rid of the weed. It's like, really? Why? And the Republicans going around for harsher drug laws, I don't like that shit either. I for one think that we need to incarcerate less people and empower more people. As cliche and as stupid as that sounds. If we got rid of all the drug laws, then these cartels wouldn't have as much power. They would all, and they might go more towards the sex trafficking aspect of what they do, but we are just strengthening these black market operations by keeping drugs illegal. And I hope people can understand that. Now, if anybody watching wants to hop on and talk about anything, I am game. We had a cancellation, but I wanted to get some content out. I had some ideas in my mind. Philadelphia Eagles aren't going to the White House after they won the Super Bowl. And this is I think it was the first question that was asked to LeBron James when he stood up at the podium. The finals are going on right now. But now it's like, okay, who's the best basketball player of all time? Is it LeBron or is it Michael? Well, guess what? Michael Jordan knew how to conduct himself in some sort of class. He didn't have to jump into the net of being a social justice warrior or have to feel like he needs to stand up for a certain cause. And granted, the political spectrum is different today. It just makes me. Okay, here's a question. Why would you alienate yourself from half of the population? 60 million people voted for Trump. That's roughly a quarter of the population. I guess half the people in America didn't vote, which there's kids and stuff like that. Why would you alienate yourself from half of the functioning people in America? By doing this is exactly what you're doing. If I was a sports figure, I would stay agnostic. Now, if there's certain issues that you want to address, like homelessness, sex trafficking, if you want to use your star power for something like that it might be a little bit more understandable. But using your star power to call out the president, saying he's trying to divide us and he's acting like a child, and but using your star power to do that, you're not getting. You're gaining points by a very small percentage of the population who's brainwashed into whatever they believe negative about the president. And I have my gripes with him too, but they're not warranted. And it's all roads lead back to Trump, which is kind of sad. It's kind of sad that we can't watch a sporting event without having politics thrown in our face like a whipped cream pie, like we're on some fucking show on Nickelodeon. And I'm not here to. I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm not trying to be lecturing or anything like that. It's just I'm just out here trying to express a couple ideas that I had about Colin Kaepernick and about the Eagles not, being disinvited to the White House, which, sports and politics, it's gone on far enough. I think that so for every political action in a country, especially our country, there always seems to be an immediate sort of like the pendulum swings one way and then it's going to swing another way. So I feel that the younger generation, maybe not necessarily Generation Z, but the one that's coming is going to see, and they are contrarians by heart. The younger generation is every single one. And so they're going to look at all this bullshit that's going on, and these people that act like they have this this grand idea of Trump being Hitler is going to be seen through big time, and the upcoming generation, could swing all the way far right, which is kind of scarier than far left. And I can say that identity politics wise as a white man. Virtue signaling. Hello, here I am. And I had one more thing. So yeah, the new generation that's coming in is going to spot this bullshit, and it might swing way far back the other way. Oh, and here's the other thought that I had is, so CNN and MSNBC and even Fox, to a certain extent, it's all Trump all the time. All very little news stories, or I actually don't know this because I've cut the cable a long time ago and I don't watch any kind of news at all. So from what I gather, and maybe I'm wrong here, is that they don't hardly cover any news stories. It's just Trump all the time, just Trump, 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 Trump. So what happens if, like, Trump gets assassinated, he falls over and gets a stroke, or somehow he's eliminated, or even impeached, which there's absolutely zero grounds for impeachment right now, or impeachment if you're Maxine Waters, low IQ Maxine. What are they going to do? They've been running on this thing for 2 years now. What are they going to? Is it going to be the Pence 24/7 assassination, character assassination? It's just a crazy time right now. Just analyzing shit for what it is. Sports and politics, politics and entertainment. And you can see it in the Hollywood movies too. And I'm not talking about Wakanda, although it's just like the Ghostbusters movie. The new Ghostbusters movie, and shout out to my son TJ, who's made me watch it 2,500 times, and I ended up liking it. But every single male in that movie is either an asshole or an idiot. And so politics is pretty much injected into everything. If you go buy a loaf of bread at the store, it's not my President Wonder Bread. I'm just kidding, but I guess you get where I'm going with that. What's up, Jennifer? I'm just signing off, but it's good to see that you're on here. Anyways, I guess that will be it for now. Just needed to get something out. and off of my chest. So we'll have a discussion coming up possibly tomorrow about the American Disabilities Act with John Carter right now, who's out there fighting tornadoes with a shield and a sword. So it's been great. I'll give anyone else a chance to come on and speak with me because I can tag you in on this one. And if not, it's been a lovely Wednesday evening. And, I support our veterans. I support our Army, our firemen, any service members. I would go into some of the policing issues, but if you want to hear that, you have to go to the John Carter episode, which is 84. I believe it's called An American Hero, John Carter. Look for Mercury's cast. Episode 84, that's John Carter, where we broke down the policing issues in this country with the great American hero John Carter, which we will be back maybe tomorrow, maybe not, but this has been a solo episode of Mercury's Cast, and we are out. If anyone wants to go live with me, DM me, and we can do this again. Okay, peace out.